Hey everyone, it's Crystal here, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to make this Halloween pumpkin candy card, and it's super adorable. So I don't traditionally celebrate Halloween, but I really felt like making a Halloween themed video, so that's why I've decided to make a card for Halloween, because I enjoy making cards normally, but this is my very first Halloween card and I really liked how it came out. So first of all, you will need an A4 piece of paper that you have cut in half and folded in half as well, like I have there. The next thing you want to do is get yourself some orange cardboard. You want to use a love heart punch, and you want to cut out some orange love hearts. So you want 2 orange love hearts, and this is going to help you create your pumpkin. Next you want kind of like this oval shaped one, and you want to get 2 of these thin ovals, and these are going to be the sides of your pumpkin. Alright, the next thing you want to use is this punch here, which has pretty much just the same shape but just a bigger oval, and this is going to be the middle of your pumpkin. So now we have our 3 pieces. So we have a big round oval and our 2 little ovals. Now what I'm going to do now is just put the ovals together, so I kind of lay it out on the table first of how I want them positioned, so that I can see what it looks like before I'm actually going to glue them all together. So now I'm going to add in the 2 little orange hearts that we had. And these are going to tuck in behind the ovals to kind of give the pumpkin a little bit of a rigid look. And once I'm happy with the pattern all together, I will use this special type of glue. So it has one thin end and the bottom end is actually a thicker glue end. So for this one I'm going to be using the very thin glue end to glue my little orange card pieces together to form my pumpkin shape. And that is it all done. So now we got our basic shape. And this is going to be kind of like the little bucket to keep all the candy in. So I'm just going to leave that to dry. So while that is drying, I have these little gingerbread men that I've also used a stamp punch for. So that is the punch there. I have punched out 2 of these gingerbread men, and I had some leftover bits as well from my other gingerbread men that I'm going to be using for these ones too, to add the colour buttons and the little bow tie. So now I'm kind of playing around with the colours and seeing what I like, where I should put the different things for the little gingerbread men. And then I'll be gluing it all down with the same glue that I used before. Alright, and that is both our gingerbread men done. So now I'm going to put those two aside to let them dry and work on the next bit of the card. Alright, so the next bit of the card I'm going to be working on, I'm using this stamp set here. And I'm using this very thin, long stamp. And this is going to act as kind of like a border around our card. So I've got these little stamps here that I'm going to use that have all different colours in them. And I'm just going to pick 4 different colours out of this stamp set to use for my border. The reason I love using this type of stamp set is that it really makes it look like kind of like liquid candy that has been melted down. So that's why I'm kind of going for candy-like colours. Once I've picked my 4 colours, what I'm going to do is just stamp a little bit of the stamp with that colour, and then I'm going to do that for each one of these stamps. And I'm just going to sponge it on. Alright, once your stamp has all 4 colours on it, you want to line it up, and you want to do the top, the bottom, and both the sides. Now this stamp didn't quite make both the sides in length, so what I had to do was actually use the stamp twice. I really didn't mind if there was a little bit of overlay to it. I thought it just add to the look. So that's how I ended up doing mine. You might want to put yours in the center of it instead of making it go the whole way along as the border. It's up to you. So I make sure to reapply each time to make sure that I'm getting a cleanest stamp of colors that I can. Alright, and there we have our candy-like border. Alright, what I want to do next is take our pumpkin that we had, our base, and we want to add some eyes and a face to it. Because I'm trying to go for like a carved pumpkin look. So that's why I'm adding some eyes, and I'm adding a face of some sort. So for my first card that I used as an example, I did more of a classic scary face. This one was a little bit more of a silly face that I ended up doing for this one, but I think it turned out really well. I'm just using a little hook tool to press down any little parts that I glue on so that they stick and I don't get glue all over my fingers. So now I'm just kind of trying out making different mouths to see what I like. I was trying to make like a oh my gosh sort of face, like someone's been surprised or spooked, but I ended up going with kind of like a silly like tongue sticking out sort of face, but I really like it. Alright, next you want to get your black piece of card, and you want to kind of put it over the top. You want it to go in the middle space of the white card, and you want to have your border showing all the way around. So for me, my card was too big, so I had to go back and cut it down some more so I could clearly see my border all around it. And then what you want to do is just use some double-sided tape, and you just want to put a couple of strips of double-sided tape on it to hold the black cardboard down. So that is our card now with the black cardboard in the middle of our border. Alright, so what I'm doing now is just having a look of where I want to place the pumpkin. So I ended up putting it down the bottom of my card so I can have the most room I can to put in any candies that I want to add in. So I'm just playing around with the placement now of different candy cutouts and stamps and stuff that I had to see whether or not I like the layout of it. Now I've used like punch out stamps and embossing cutout ones. You can easily just get pictures of candy off the internet and cut around the different candy shapes that you want and use that onto your card to make it easier if you don't have any punches or anything like that. That's completely fine too. So that's my rough plan of what I'm going to be doing with this card. Well, I just want to flip my pumpkin around and then I just want to cut off some double-sided tape. And this isn't just your normal double-sided tape, this is actually a thicker double-sided tape, and so I'm cutting it into two pieces and I'm going to layer the two pieces to give it some extra height and some extra depth. Alright, next you want to take the little scrap pieces that you might have gotten off, well, I got my pieces off my little candy cane cutout, so you can add those in. You could easily just print off little candy canes and cut them out and do the same sort of thing that I'm doing here. So I'm just adding those to the very top of the tape and making sure that they show up just above the pumpkin so that you can actually see them. And I'm just using my little hook tool to help press them down so that my fingers don't get stuck to the double-sided tape. Alright, and that is the pumpkin completely done. So now what we're going to do is grab whatever I want to put underneath the pumpkin for mine. So for mine I'm putting a little gingerbread underneath, so I'm going to stick the gingerbread man just behind the pumpkin onto the back of the double-sided tape and just press that down. And then I'm going to get my other little candy that I have, my little wrapped candy, and I'm going to do the same thing for that one. That's what it looks like in the back, and that's the front there. So now I'm just going to place that whole piece down. Now since the rest of it is still sticking up and there's no glue on it yet, what I'm going to do is just glue down the bits that I know need to have some glue down there to keep them in place. And I don't want anything behind those particular things, so I'm just adding the glue to keep the bits that I do want to be kept in place in place. And now I am adding in the other ones behind some of the other candies that are there. And once I know where I'm going to place them, then I add the glue where needed to stick them down. With the candy cane, I wanted to put it at the very top of my card as it has the most height out of all of the things that I've put on my card. Because there are so many fine little bits to this candy cane, I put a little bit of glue down on all the spots that I can to make sure it stays in place. Now as you'll see with what I've done with the layering for all my candy, I have pushed it so it goes outside the black card that I've actually put down, and it extends out to our melted candy border. So that is your card completely finished. You can use different candies to what I have. Like I said, you can print out different candies online and just cut around them. Those are the two cards there, and you can tell the differences between the two. But I think they really turned out well, and I think it's a really simple card that anyone can make. Thank you for watching my video. Bye now.